pass my test. So let me know. Others those who are not. But you can come here and sit and revise as well as you get what I teach. So let me first note those who are not there. There's one whom I put here, Katoko. I don't see CC. Rola. Kazibwe. Did you hear me say? They were coming. So they go to the other director. Yes. So we look at the load line. The load line of the transistor. And if we look at the transistor circuit, so we have the base, then we have the meter, then we have the transistor, then we have the RSC, then we have BCC, this is VE, this is the collector C, then we have the emitter E here, then we have IC, this would be equivalent to the base, then the transistor, emitter, emitter E, then we have VE. One is looking at me as if my children have come here. Then this is equivalent to this circuit here. Arrow, then we have the RSC. BCC, and then complete the circuits here. Then we have the V, the S, collector, RC, from here, IC. Then we have the BCE across transistor. Those who came late, I was thinking that I should just make sure the test is only what I will teach today. Since you have come, I will start from the beginning. I wanted to do that. You want to go back? Yeah, you can go back. I've seen you. At least you have come by. So they sent you a WhatsApp message that the man says he's going to ask what he's going to teach today. I assure you that if you attend every lecture, listen to what they are teaching, be observant, ask questions. University will be the simplest for you. Because when the semester system was introduced, Agaba can tell you that during their time you started from January to December, you can go to exams. It was term system. And many people got passes. Because you will just keep piling up notes, go to half time, wherever, and then when it reaches the third term, they ask things you were taught in January. You don't remember nothing. So you get less than 50. When you get less than 50, they give you a supplementary. And when the lecturer is marking supplementary, he puts 50 on your paper. And then he starts marking. If you reach 50, then he stops there. If you fail to reach 50, then you get another supplementary.
No.
It was what? A disco.
Repeat the whole year.
Yes, that's the thing. You repeat the whole year now. So you are joking.
Including the things you already passed.
Yes.
And you have to pass them.
So when that hassle became a problem,
Without failing.
when that hassle became a problem, then the semester system came. You study that, you finish it, you pass it, you throw away. Unless if it is a prerequisite for another course. Now, the prerequisite for this is electricity and magnetism and probably mathematical methods in physics. So you should have some idea of those. But now life was made easy for you completely. And we have no choice. What we teach is what we bring. So you just need to attend, be attentive, revise what we have taught immediately, and it comes in tests, and you pass it, and you get your A's. Am I speaking French?
Thanks.
This man here is talking, he doesn't know what we go through. You came to study, you have to. It should be a privilege. You should feel like this is what you came to do. So this was our transistor circuit. I've already added there a collector resistor. These things are not, they shouldn't bother you. When I add here an emitter resistor, it's just to make sure that it checks out the current going through, so that the current just doesn't go through directly. So it's like you try to slow down the current so that you can do whatever you are doing without any problem. That's the purposes of, that's the purpose of transistor, resistors, capacitors. For example, this tube here has what we call a choke. That's how they call it. It's a choke. The choke in this tube here is to give reactance to the current going through it. So the choke is actually an inductor. When you open this one, you see something which is like it's like this form, and with the place where the screws are screwed on the body. And then when you look closely, you see grooves. You see like some grooves on it, showing that it is an inductor. And the reason tubes do not just flick out when power fluctuates, it's because it can only give a reactance, the XL, the inactive reactance. So it gives the match reactance to the match that comes. That's why a tube is energy saving. If power comes too much, the reactance is too much. If power comes when it is little, it gives little reactance. So if there is a power surge, like power goes low or high, the tube is looking normal. If it is near an incandescent lamp, you see an incandescent lamp going off, but the tube is after all, whatever happens is, as long as it can produce electrons on this side of the cathode, as they go to the anode, ionization takes place, fluoresces, and then we get this light. So it's not like how you are when you are burning a filament, and then when power goes down, the burning goes down. Then here, we try to get this VCC here. The one we are having here, we are trying to make sure that we can. I told you, if I remember well, the difference between a negative terminal and a grounding is is that the negative terminal is more or less to an isolated source. Like when you have a dry cell, you must have a negative terminal. But the grounding terminal can be shared by all devices which you are using. And more or less, if you have a constant power source, like a DC supply. So you have a DC supply, it has a ground. Then you have an oscilloscope, it has a ground. You are not draining anything to say, I'm fearing to drain and finish everything out of my dry cell. So then you find that the ground. So when we are supplying a constant PCC, it has a ground which we can also, so we can complete this circuit here, and then we have this loop here. And this loop here, that means that we can talk of the BCE is a crosshair, but then we can look at this as a loop. So the output loop equation this one here. So this loop equation, what we got? We got one potential drop here. We got one value here. We got probably something going on here. So that means that we have the ICRC plus this voltage across this is the PD across the transistor. So plus VCP has to balance with what you are feeding within, which will be the same as the VCC that we have. This is the load line. Load is for the things you have loaded on your transistor. That's what we mean by load line. So this is the load line. And if we plot the IC versus the BCE, which is the output characteristic, then we will get the, let's take one characteristic. And then we can draw this over here, around here, to this point here. This point here, P. Here we will be having this IC here is VCC over RC. This voltage here is VCC. Then this one is VCE at the point P. So VCEP. This is when we have IP being cancelled. We are taking one value of the base current. This line here, is what we are calling a load line. So if you take values and draw your output characteristic, and you draw that line, that other line there, crossing a particular point P, that is our load line. And this point is of essence in this course for electronics. This point P point E, where the load line, and the output, where the load line and the output characteristic. The other ones were amended, so they were characteristics. One is characteristic for a constant value of the input, okay, on base current. So the point B where these intersect, where these two, where the load line and the output resistor intersect, is called the working point. Where the load line intersects characteristic where the IP is a constant, this point here is a working point. We will use some scientific language. It's called a PSN point. Maybe I should ask this in the test and say, define a working point or a PSN point. I'm sorry, this is when I get back to you. When I'm here, you are harassing me. When it is time, you say it is time. When I ask, can't we meet tomorrow? You say, no, we are busy. Tomorrow we shall start earlier, okay? Because I don't want to interrupt your next lecture. So by 1:45 you should be around, so that we start sharp on time. I'm going to chop off some numbers which are put, so that you don't suffer. So I just wanted to comment something. I am not saying that you don't consult me. I don't know about the other lecturers, but I want to tell you my feeling. I'm not saying that you don't consult me, but I'm sure that you can really chop numbers on your own. Now, it's tough. It's a tough decision when I have said a paper or when I'm planning to set a number and then someone comes and asks that number. Don't laugh, it is not okay. Now, I go in a fix, okay? I get in a tight corner. If I ask that number, that person goes around saying, hey, this one, he even showed me how it goes. If I don't ask it, I have missed evaluating what I wanted to evaluate. Do you get my feeling? Yes. I already told you that I ask things which I asked before because I want to see how you can answer them. I also want you to have an easy life at campus. I'm strict on attendance so that you get the knowledge. But I don't want you to suffer. Now when you bring things of the past paper to ask me, I answer them. But then you suffer because I look for other numbers. Have we understood each other? Because I'm being frank. If you come with for example, past paper question for last year, and you say this number we can, I know some of you can chop that number. A number that was asking, use Kirchhoff, superposition, Thevenin. You have the answer already, you are coming to me. You put me in a fix. Am I being nice? know some of you are good enough to chop those numbers and get the answer. If you were looking for an answer, if it didn't have an answer, I would say fine. But it is not having an answer by another method. I don't know about the other lecturers, you can consult them, but for me, if you have another alternative, don't ask me so that you drop it in the exam. Because that's the only way I can give back to you. But once I do that number, I can't bring it. I did an example here. And I will wish to make sure everyone does that example. Someone said, I can't understand this word. And I can't bring it. Much as I would have loved to bring it. So I'm changing things, which I thought I was going to give you a gift, that number which I had done here. But I'm not saying that you don't consult me. Consult me. Consult me so that you understand, okay? That number is on YouTube. That number when I'm using the mark. Relatively, I wanted to bring it for you. Someone consulted it, so it is out. Because if I bring it, that person will say, you did this for me. Much as I know I can still dispute and we don't make it. I am being frank. I don't know, Agaba may know this. As a lecturer, we can't manufacture questions. There is a limit. So sometimes you recycle the questions. And if you know that lecturers recycle questions, so when you learn on questions, hunt for answers. Let him assume that I will not tell you who, but we had one lecturer who, there were 2 books of solid state. That's where I used to get the questions. He would borrow both of them. So the students of the previous year told us, so we borrowed one of them before he borrowed it. And the librarian was our friend. So we borrowed it and he also kept it. He went to the library, they told him they have borrowed it, we let it up. And we enjoyed his paper. We chopped everything. Because now you have to imagine you bought a book to just make sure that no one sees the answer. You keep it in your because it had all the questions with answers. It was a nice book. So we borrowed it also. But I don't have that. I don't want to have that meaningless. These electronics questions are not so many to bring a lot and to twist things for you. I want you to get the principle. That's why I'm always slow here. I could have kept quiet. I do my thing, but I want to warn you, not for me alone, even if it is in education, those who do English or mathematics. If you go to a lecture and he has already said the paper and the numbers you're asking are in the paper, he will change it. Because it is abnormal for someone to inquire, then you chop. Even in secondary, I used to have that problem. You have gone into a question bank, you have chosen your nice questions, you have put them together. Some student comes and asks the same number. And because you have to chop them, you chop them, now you are again suffer to change. I'm being frank to you so that you enjoy your campus time. Otherwise. So we have this question coin, and it is also sometimes called a true coin. So if you are reading in some books and you find such a true point, you know what it is about. It is chosen this point here, it is chosen such that P is the linear region of the curve. The reason we are saying constant IB, of course IB is changing here until when that starts being constant. Maybe my line should be a bit. I wanted to cover this dot here on the board. So once IB starts being constant, that linear part, that linear region, is where we choose to draw the load line. I mean the point, choose the point. And this is for when IB is a constant. Now VCE is usually made to be a half VCC, and the VCC here is the supply voltage in transistor circuits. So in transistor circuits, what we use as the supply voltage, we call it VCC. Load line, okay? We draw our output characteristic. We choose a quiescent point to point P, where when the IB starts becoming constant, and then we join the 2 points up there and down here to cross that line. I mean that point. This line here we call it a load line after choosing this point. And we do get the VCE as that voltage that is half the VCC. So we now know how to connect a transistor, adjust the input current, which is the base current, supply, power up the transistor with VCC, and then after that we eventually are able to do a couple of things. We can draw the input characteristics, we can draw the output characteristics, and so far we are still working with the BJTs. The bipolar junction transistor is what we are still working on. And after the test, I will let you go and work on the field effect transistor effects on your own. It's also better for you to feel you are part of the struggle. Also find it out. Now, on the under experiments, since most of you are going to do the experiment today, and experiment I've added on appendix on the way. And on appendix I've put a section of the digital manual. The digital manual has a map, an appendix, but with a map of the chips you'll be using, the ICs, the integrated circuits. So the ICs you'll be using, the maps are here of where you find the logic gates. I'll explain when we are there, but I just wanted you to take a look. If you get a time, take a look. So this appendix 50 to 54 pages request for, I think, components, and then I put the PDF there, so that I really want to make your life easy, that you don't have to ask for anything. You don't need to borrow the manual, you don't need anything. So probably I'll bring out the copy, so that there is a copy in the lab to make sure that you can use you can concentrate on your experiments instead of hassling. Previously, people would take photos, and as they are struggling with their phones, they talk and then they jump off, and then they get issues of not finishing early. I don't think that will affect us at all. So how do we make the transistor to work? So we do bias of a transistor. So in a normal operation of a BJT, the normal operation of a BJT, bipolar junction transistor, the base emitter junction, the base emitter junction. So if I just do this, so that we have a collector here, IC there, emitter here, IE here, IB here, and then B here, B in, B out. So the base emitter junction in a normal BJT must be dash biased. And the base collector and the base collector or BC collector junction is dash biased. From here, in a normal operation of a BJT, which is there in that small circuit, the base collector junction, which is around here, must be dash biased. We have three words, reverse and forward. When you look at this as it is, with IB coming like this, IC coming like this, and then here having the base emitter with this arrow there, what do we get? This would be forward bias. And accordingly, with our IB coming like this and IC going this way, and this being the base collector, what would be the nature of the bias? Reverse bias. Now, we don't achieve this just with the way it is there. We must do some adjustments. So, to achieve this, several methods are available. One, we have the self-bias circuit. self-bias circuit method. And this is commonly used. And the circuit of this self-bias looks like this. When the semester had started, and some students were thinking everything is now easy, they can dodge, and they will pass anyway, lecturers were given liberty to introduce a test whenever they want. So comes in and says, good morning. Then says, okay, get your papers, let's do a test. So we had one professor in psychology called Professor Apollo. I think may he so rest in peace. That's how he used to do stuff. He comes and says, good morning class. He looks around like this. Set a question for yourself and answer and hand in. He was teaching us social psychology, and I think also he taught us research methods. You set a question, so you just set a question, you give an answer, you collect. I don't think he used to, I think he used to say this one, maybe the handwriting gives marks. We are too many. See, education with the students from arts, I think we used to be around 1,000 also. But at least we were above 500. So I don't think he used to have time to mark the stuff. So I have never done that. I would wish to one time just come in and say test when I give and see how much people forget. Pardon? Yeah, I will come with my questions. I know the date for a test will be today, Wednesday. I even put Wednesday when I come here, put your books here, test. Then I give you question papers and you do a test. I see how much you perform. But I'm democratic, so I can't do that. So the self-bias circuit looks like this. We put a voltage divider here, and then connect here like this, so that some stuff can come this way. And then we have the VCC here, and then of course try to also put RC here, and then it should be okay. So the circuit would be, we have the transistor here. So let us keep it. I know your bodies are here, but your spirit is not here. But I don't know why. We have the section on this other part of the course and whatever, like introductory. We shall have this one on the devices, transistors, feedback. So that's another test. Then when we go to digital, we shall do another test. So we have 3 tests, so 2 tests to come. So I don't think you should have this attitude that the test is about to come and then you put gloomy faces. Just be jolly, it's just 1 hour. Then when I'm done, you go hustle. You have the whole night. And you dodged yesterday. Okay, you missed yesterday. I see when I said dodged, you are like, I had problems and I was not there. It's going to go. Okay, you missed yesterday. Because I think that was the first time I didn't see you a long time of having lectures. If you compile all my missed lectures in my school time, we cannot make a week. not sick. When I'm not sick, I got sick many times. And so if you collect together, even when I attend a workshop, I'm always there and writing. To the extent some people think I'm a spy, I'm making sure that I record everything. But it's my character to make sure that I get what took me there. So we have an NPN in this case, we have the IC here. So this resistor should go a little bit higher. Just try to make sure that I draw the things the way they should be so that you don't draw things which are zigzag. And I want to, when I visited some kid in second, I found them drawing with a pen, and they told me the teachers are saying to draw with a pen. I want things with a pencil. The mathematical set costs only $1,000. This thing of starting to draw a circuit, as you have done like this, you find you have put this one here, then you cross, then you know. Pencil. Graphs in the lab, pencil. Pencil is only 50 shillings. But the mathematical set, I think the cheapest is 1K. This one of the big fair. It's changed. The one of the big fair, this red one. I have one in my office. I bought one, it was 1.5. Okay, by then it was 1K. Now it's what? 5K. Yeah, that's one chaplaincy. 2 meals. 2 meals. And how long do your meals last in your stomach? Yes. You value eating more than the mathematical set. That has a sharpener, a compass, a ruler, a pencil, everything. And it's a keeping place where you can keep your stuff. So we got a base here, we got the IB here, then we have these potential divider resistances R1 and R2, and then we have I1 flowing in the R1, I2 flowing in R2, and then we have a VBE across here. Let me see which other one I haven't put. ID, this ID here is much less than I1, so that I1 is more or less equal to I2. Hence, these are conditions about our self-biasing of self-bias circuit. So hence R1, without focusing too much about electronics, what do you understand by bias? Bias. When someone tells you you are biased, how do you feel? What do you take? Well, how do you take it? Like you saw, people can be biased towards politics. the foreheads, where they put ash. And we hope that they will be good people for the 40 days. They can't eat meat. Is it only meat or what you used to love most?
Meat on Wednesday and Friday.
Eh?
Meat on Wednesday and Friday.
Meat on Wednesday and Friday. You are supposed to be fasting that you love most. Isn't it?
No, it's fast what you can afford.
Eh? You can't. But how do you love something most when you can't afford it? Those who can't afford meat cannot even have any feelings about it. You can't have feelings about something which you can't afford. Well, that's why, I don't know, I think that's how I grew up. Me, I was broke. So everything that I couldn't even think about, I didn't bother. It's until when I could get some money that I say, I think maybe I can buy. So hence R1 and R2 form a potential divider. R1 and R2 are usually chosen so that IB is approximately about 0.1 of I1. And I1 is equal to BCC over R1 plus R2. Now the load equation, is it load or load line equation? Load line equation BCEE equals to VCC minus ICP. I tried to make sure that I do this lecture with minimal concentration, or so that you can have freedom to read as you are studying. But I think I'm not happy with how you are taking your academics. You need to program your time. Me, I studied as a day scholar, PCM Fine Art. You have all the time. Those of you who are in the halls of residence or hostels, you got all the time. Is my list here or you put it here? Because I don't see it, but I know I could have put it somewhere. You have to program your time. I program my time. I can't teach what I'm supposed to teach. I don't end in the middle. You can't mix your time with our time. Test time is our time. Now you have spoiled my lecture. Just because we have a test tomorrow. So you should stop today. I will not relate it to next time. I don't ask questions that make students suffer. I only ask questions for students who attend. And whatever I ask, I always explain it fully here. I emphasize it. If you are attentive, the things I emphasize during all this time are the things that I'm going to bring. whichever diagram I drew and emphasize, explain it is what I'm going to play. And if I bring questions of last year and then you have seen them, don't have a paper of last year nearby to show me that you have nailed it, or you 30 minutes you are done. You're like, sir, I want to go. I've had those experiences, but people have paid for them. You bring a paper and the guy nails it, and in 30 minutes he's already showing that he wants to go. So I normally keep quiet. And I give them a chance. When next test, I make sure it is value for your time. So I don't want to behave like that. Pretend. People scratch your head as if things are not moving. Get your 90 or your 100. Have you ever seen a rich man showing off? A real rich man. Some of them you find him in one t-shirt.